Ricky, good morning. I'll admit it, my fault. I chose to sleep in. I chose sleep over business, over making hobby talk. So I apologize for that. However, audience may not even know, but it is what it is. But good morning. How are you? How was Collecticon? I just kind of because that was this past weekend, right?
No, it's coming up actually.
It's coming up. Okay, so when we record next episode, we'll talk about your
Right.
experience, but we can dive into looking forward to it, maybe some buying strategies, some selling strategies, what may it be. But how are we doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. Let's see what's going on. Went to the first Cubs game yesterday. They lost, but
Figures.
I'm
I
just
like the
glad to
Cubs
see.
this year. They look fun.
I'm just glad that yeah, they're going to be sneaky good. They might win the division. Um, Actually, Red Sox are coming here this weekend for the White Sox, so I'll go to a couple of those games. Yeah, it's just exciting times. Baseball is that time of the year again.
It is indeed, and it's not for a lot of people, and that is absolutely okay. But for those that absolutely love baseball, this is the golden time right now because football's not happening, basketball's winding down. No one really cares about it until the playoffs start. Hockey, I mean, it's hit or miss with people. So really, it's just baseball right now. Obviously, you have the draft, and then you have the playoffs for those two sports, but yeah, I mean, right now is a good time to be a baseball fan, especially with the brand new season, underway. But I mean, like you and I, we're in the minorities on this. Baseball is our favorite sport, but we think it's the best sport, and that is absolutely okay. Because it's not for everybody. I did look at the Cubs schedule, and I don't know why this is a thing, but this is a thing. Oh wait, no, this is never mind. They're not going to be in town. Oh, but they'll be in town. They'll be home for the Orioles. Oh yes,
Oh,
on
for
for the National. Yes.
yeah.
No, because I'm looking at it, I'm thinking it's like the week before. And I'm like, wow, the Cubs are gonna be on the road. And just like a couple years ago, guess who they're playing on the road? The White Sox. And I'm not going to, I don't even know what the hell that stadium is called anymore. Um,
Rates Field.
Guaranteed Rates Field. Yeah, sure.
No, they dropped the guarantee this year. It's just
Oh,
Rate Field.
just Rate Field. What was the name of their old stadium though? It was named after their owner. I'd rather go there to be honest. Um, but yeah, I would like to go to one of those Orioles games. However, neither here nor there. We can absolutely talk more about the National in Chicago as we get closer and closer. But Collecticon is coming up, though. I think that's a great spot to start because you are going to be going there. Massive show, Pokemon heavy. I'll ask you this: is there any sports at all, or is it just strictly Pokemon, TCG, and such?
So I went to it once. It was no, I think it was October, November, something like that. The way I see it, it's the reverse national. So like the national was, obviously 98% sports, but
Yep.
there were a couple guys who had Pokemon there. So that's kind of how Collecticon is. When I went,
Interesting.
there was maybe 10 tables with sports there. Maybe 10 tables with sports.
I mean, that
The
doesn't
rest,
surprise me though, that there's
yeah,
at least a couple. I mean, if somebody here mixes with Pokemon and sport, which it is very common,
right.
hey, if you want sports cards, you're at the show, you're gonna have to go through me or maybe one of the other dozen vendors here compared to the hundreds of Pokemon and TCG tables. When you went in October, obviously, with the national and such, it can be kind of overwhelming for people because there's so many tables. You don't want to jump right into a first deal and then spend all your money and you still haven't even seen the rest of the room. How cautious were you to jump in to make that first deal, or did you want to make your round first and then kind of proceed to making a deal after you make a lap?
Well, at the time, I was still doing sports and all that stuff, so I didn't pay as much attention to the Pokemon as I could have or should have.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the only Pokemon card that I got that weekend was a Lugia 10.
Altar,
Also, yeah.
my
Um,
man.
so I didn't. Yeah. like I knew that was my favorite card, so that was really the only one I was looking for. And if they didn't have it, I just kind of, you know, went on from the table
Hmm.
instead of looking at everything else and all that. So this time, with me being more Pokemon centered, I'll actually take the time to look around, see what people got. But
What
yeah,
what
I gravitated more towards a few guys who had sports last time.
were the sports deals at the time for this Pokemon heavy show fair? Were they good selection? Was it overpriced because it, scarcity?
Um, yeah, the few guys who had it had like a showcase or two worth of sports, so they had stuff. I'm
Because
trying to remember what cards I got. It was like a Jaden Reed auto and something else.
with the national, I'm just trying to think back to the Pokemon vendors, and some of them, I'd probably say half of them had fair prices,
Right.
half of them had overpriced, but I would say they all had selection. I would say. So I guess that's obviously a good thing that there's tons of selection from a dozen or so tables of Pokemon. Actually, probably less than that if I'm being completely
Yeah,
honest.
it wasn't that
From
much.
last year, it was maybe like seven, and that might be generous too. But yeah, I mean, at least with the Pokemon at a sports heavy show, the selection was there. Half was overpriced, half was market price, so to speak. I mean, you can't get mad at market pricing. But so I'm curious to see what the scene's going to be like. Obviously, come Collecticon, where it's kind of roles are reversed. What are
Mm.
you looking for? Anything specific? I know you're big into the sealed booster collection. Obviously, you're big into some of the alt arts or the SARs. Are you going there to try to acquire some of that, or are you going there to try to offload some of the stuff you'd have? Because I know you mentioned that you sold half the binder. I think you said your half your trade
No,
binder.
binder's all gone now. It's either
Binder's gone. See you later.
gold or being off to grade it. The
Ooh,
only the only cards I have in my binder right now are the three icebergs I got.
caca.
Hmm.
So buying heavy, I'm thinking.
Right. So I have three targets, maybe four. Um, I want Paldea Evolved Booster Box.
Ooh, okay.
I want the Paldean Fates Charizard in the 10.
Ooh,
That's my reach.
okay.
And then
Attainable.
I want more icebergs. I
More
want as many as I
iceberg.
can get.
Dude, that's me with the damn Lugia, except the Lugia is like $400. At least the icebergs aren't $400. Maybe not yet,
Yes.
but
Yes.
exact. I mean, when Paldea Evolved first came out, the Magikarp was a $15 card on release day weekend. And the Iono, the chase card, chase trainer, was like $60, $70. And then a month later, roles reverse. And now the Magikarp is selling for well over $1,000 in a PSA 10 grade. So anything is possible when it comes to chases and sets and all that stuff. It's just you never know. You absolutely never know. Well, it sounds like it's going to be an absolute blast. I'm actually very jealous. I'd like to get to a show. I'm hoping to get to more shows as the weather gets nicer because I miss going, even if I don't buy anything, I just enjoy
Right.
walking around the show,
Just the
talking to some people I
atmosphere.
know. Exactly. Even if it's like a small show, like a BFW, just getting out, chugging my little Zion case around, talking to people, checking out cards, like, oh, that looks cool, and then realizing it's overpriced, and then just moving on to the next person, like just like that whole experience is just something to die for. But speaking of grading, Ricky, I think it's a good time to segue into our next conversation, and that is the grading report. And we can breeze through this because really not much has changed. I mean, with month over month over month. I mean, PSA is obviously a well dominated company over
Totally.
the field. If I can get my screen to share, beautiful, beautiful, and beautiful. Can I zoom in on this? Not really. Not even gonna bother. Okay, so PSA 1.5 million, pretty much. I mean, they've gone up over the year, over the month. CGC down from last month, but up year over year. I think up year over year, my opinion, I think is a little bit more important, especially for CGC, just to show that the difference from year one to year two for a company like them. SGC both up month over month and year over year, nearly 20%. And look at Beckett. They're both up month over month and year over
Okay.
year, which is something that we usually see in the negatives. So my takeaway, people are grading a bunch of cards right now. Could this be? I mean, obviously this is for March, so this is a month ago. Well, the entirety of March. Do we think people are maybe preparing for Fanatics Fest in the National coming up with the amount of cards being graded? I mean, look at PSA 1.5. I think that's the most I've at least seen since we've been kind of covering
It's a
the
lot.
grading report. That is a ton. That is
There's
a
their specials weren't even good last month.
maybe people don't even care. They just want to grade for whatever the price is. They don't mind waiting because they know those shows aren't for another few more months.
Right. They're even worse this month.
Are they really?
Yeah, it's just like the expensive tier is running a special. It's not like the value or anything like that.
Interesting. So people are grading. That's a good thing. Obviously, I'm going to guess that they're grading to probably flip the cards, move the cards, because I feel like grading, I've said this for a long time now, grading for one's collection is kind of a thing of the past, it seems like, because with how expensive it is, how long the turnaround times are, the lack of transparency from most of the grading companies, it's hard to be like, hey, let me send in my most treasured card. Oh, it came back a 7.5 or an 8, or for that matter. So it's like, oh, why bother? Just keep the card raw. Like I got a, speaking of PC cards, I got a Lugia Altar in a 10, but I also have one ungraded. I'm gonna keep the ungraded one as is because I don't care if it comes back at 9 or a 10 or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. So I think a lot of people might have that same mindset as well. But should we or should people start grading right now for these big shows? Obviously, Collecticon runs a lot more frequently than Fanatics Fest and the National, but June, you do have Fanatics Fest. You have the National in July, bleeding into August, and you have the West Coast Card Show, Burbank's show, in August as well. So you got 3 big shows back to back to back months. I think now is the time to grade if you're vending
That's
at
a
any of
lot.
these shows. Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. What is that? Is that sports? Oh, PSA down with sports. So is in CGC, but Beckett, look at Beckett on the rise. That is absolutely nuts. TCG, everybody's up. People need to stop grading SGC and Pokemon. They
Yeah, that looks
please,
so bad. I don't like.
please. Nothing against SGC. It is not their fault. It just does not look good. Just the
Yeah.
black tuxedo look looks better with vintage cards
This,
than it does with like vintage sports cards than Pokemon cards.
I had this in the SGC 10. It was one of
And
the first labs that I got, but this just looks so much better.
it's just I hold on, can I zoom in on you? There we go. Okay. That's a nice card. So okay, so why didn't you like it then? Let me ask you
It
that. Why didn't you like it?
it just does not look right. It looks weird.
It's weird. Like I think black is a great neutral color for sports cards, but because
It's like
Pokemon card
it's like sports in the CGC slab.
whoa,
I don't
whoa,
like
whoa,
that
whoa,
either. I don't like
whoa,
that either.
whoa. What's wrong with that?
I know
All
I
right.
know CG I know
Shots
CGC is
fired.
the boy, but
Shots
I'm
fired.
I'm I'm not a fan of sports in the CGC slabs. It
That's
just
fair. That's fair.
doesn't look right.
So like my thing with like Pokemon had like black is a great neutral color, whether it's clothes or drawings or paintings or whatever. But like when it comes to grading, the black borders of the tuxedo look just make vintage sports cards pop. The faded colors of those cards pop a little bit more than they
Looks
should.
classy and all
But
that. It looks
because
clean.
Pokemon cards are newer, shinier, and so colorful, you don't need that excess black. So when you have a slab, regardless what company it is, with a transparent edge, so you can see through like a clear edge, like pretty much everyone else has, it just looks better because it's less color. It's just focusing on the card. I think that's why a lot of people, when it comes to Pokemon, like CGC, because it's just black and white, super generic, small, and the label is just the label. People like Beckett because they like the silver, they like the gold. Obviously, the black label is just a step above and beyond. PSA has a red border. If you have a red card, it just hold on, gotta zoom in on that. Yeah, so perfect example. Like that card, I think the black is subtle enough that it's not pow in your face like SGC. And the white,
Right.
you need to have a label color. Might as well just go white, kind of like a blank canvas. And when you have like a Beckett card, I think the silver kind of matches the border of the newer cards. So the silver kind of matches the gold. When you get a 9.5 or a 10, everybody likes gold. So who's not
Right.
going to like that? And then with PSA, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, like the same label that CGC has, just replace the black with red because the canvas of their label is predominantly white. So, I mean, all four companies do something completely different, but it's like they're all doing something different similarly compared to SGC doing it completely wrong. But again, it's not their fault. It's just how their slabs are designed. That's what the premise of their design is and why people like them so much. But when it comes to Pokemon, I don't know about other TCG. I'm curious how other people feel about Magic cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, One Piece, Dragon Ball, you name it, Lorcana for that matter. I'm curious how those people feel about SGC and those other TCGs. But interesting grading report, though. Nonetheless, I can't believe you said that about CGC. A little hurt. It's okay. No,
Sorry.
it's okay. No,
It's just how I feel.
it's all right. I don't want you to feel anything different than how you feel. That is okay. Oh, here we go. Let's see this. 2024 Prism. Still, people are grading it to an oblivion. Mosaic, Donruss. Why are people still grading Donruss unless it's a downtown? Why? Why? Anything that stands out here before we kind of pivot to our next topic about, and I'm going to ask you about the Pokemon set too, because that's on the next page.
I'm assuming 2023 Prism is Wemby.
Yeah, basketball. Yep. So that's Wemby. I mean, people are still grading Wemby. Probably people are sleeping on Brandon Miller from his injury. But like, don't you think these people should have already had these cards graded by now? Like that set came out so long ago, and the market for those cards have tanked tremendously. I should say, corrected tremendously. So
Right.
even if you have a base Wemby or just any kind of Wemby Prism that's not like super numbered or like a silver for that matter, what's it really going to do? Especially when grading. I mean, I don't know what the price is for PSA grading cost, but like $25, I think, if you don't have the membership, 20 if you do. I'm not sure. So it's just like, is it worth it? Because not everybody's sending in case hits and one of ones and out of tens of Wemby. So some garbage has to be sent in. Same thing with 2023 Select. Same thing.
Yeah, with Wemby, he's probably not low, but he's lower right now. So I guess now would be the time to grade him and buy him and all that. But
I mean, maybe it is a good market to grade stuff. You need good stuff, but you can't grade just base
yeah,
cards of the guy because everyone has a base card of him at this point. Here's something on the side that I just noticed. They have Tag and Arena Club kind of listed here. In case you can't see it, it says Tag graded 16,000 cards in March. That's 12% down from February, but 65% from March of 2024. So Tag on a tremendous rise. Arena Club graded 12,000 cards, which is up 25% from February and up 21% from March of 2024. Now, we like who we like grading. That's not just me and you, that's everybody. Everybody listening, people who collect. Is trying a different company something that people should be more open to? Because someone's going to like PSA, someone's going to like SGC, someone's going to like whoever. But should people be open to trying other companies that are gaining some steam? I know some people that are trying Tag because of the whole, for Pokemon cards. But should we be more open to it instead of just kind of shut off from it? Do you think?
yeah. Obviously we should be more open to it, but at the same time, like you said, we like what we like.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't feel the need to. Shouldn't have to feel like you got to try these new companies or whatever.
Let
Just because.
me let me rephrase then. Should I'm trying to rephrase it then. I don't want us to feel like we should, but would it be a good idea to be open to trying like an up and coming Tag or Arena Club who has some good backing, who's had some good reviews, but it's also not your PSA or your Beckett's of the world? because I mean, I feel like this time last year, CGC wasn't even on the map. Now they're
Right.
probably the second best company out there. If I was to put my money where my mouth is, I mean, we look at the decline of Beckett. SGC is again only really for sports. Tag, I think, is more Pokemon centric. Arena Club, I'd probably say, is more sports centric. But I just think people might want something different. People might want to try the new hot wave. I mean, they're both up over last year, which is insane. So, I mean, it shows that there's momentum behind it.
Um, yeah, I mean, this could be another buy low opportunity with tag and all that because I'm assuming they're not close to PSA yet. I haven't really looked at sales or anything, but I mean, if they do gain steam, do gain momentum, popularity, and all that, maybe the prices will start going up. The value will start going up. So, do you know how much it is to grade with them?
I think I looked into tag pricing. I couldn't tell you about Arena Club. I type in tag grading pricing, the first thing that comes up is Beckett. Let's see. It is $15 a card, but you need a 20 card minimum, or you can grade one card for $25. That is tag Arena Club grading
That doesn't
pricing.
sound great.
I mean, if you're grading at least 20 cards, it doesn't sound terrible. I mean, I think shipping is kind of what makes or breaks for a lot of people.
Yeah, the insured shipping is kind of a
Yeah.
hassle.
Let's see, grading. I just want. Okay, so with wait, let me share this tab instead. Can you see this? Because I can't.
Yes.
Okay, so you can grade and vault for $14 a card. Send your cards to be graded, vaulted, and minted within 21 days. Cards are revealed in your showroom, so probably like an online showroom. Oh yeah, showroom. Vault graded cards. Send your AC PSA blah, 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 to be minted and vaulted within 14 days. Slabs are card retrievals are $1 per card. Grade. Okay, what if I just want to grade? I guess that it would just be this
Yeah,
one.
right there. Grade in return.
Send your. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, and within 21 days, cards will be secured with a package and shipped back to you. That's it. That's it. No, like declared value. No, like, hey, here's the 3-day turnaround time compared to a 4-month turnaround time. This is it. No, I don't have an account.
Yeah, the whole declared value thing is such a scam.
Yeah, I'm not I mean, I don't mind the declared value aspect of it just for insurance purposes, but the fact that that determines how much or what tier your card goes on for grading, I think is a
Right.
little obnoxious. Just personally, I mean, I guess it's either a way for companies to make extra money or to cover themselves. I think both can be true because they don't want to have $1,000 card on the slowest turnaround time, especially if
Right.
something was to happen. So I get it from both ends, but it is an absolute pain in the butt, especially when like you have a raw card that whether it's raw or a 9, it's under that threshold. But if it's a 10, I mean, we see this so many times with either sports or Pokemon, it just jumps to an oblivion. Goes from like a $300 card to like a $3,000 card, and you just didn't prepare for that. So then like you can't get it back unless you pay the difference in the thing. So it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's what's that called? Uh, when they hold your
Hostage,
stuff for rent. No, something like I don't know, something like
ransom.
that. Oh, I can't think of the word right now. It's pissing me off, but whatever.
Don't worry, that happens to me all the damn time. All right, so Ricky, you do only have a few minutes left because we did start late, and that is absolutely okay. I'm going to finish the episode up solo by myself. But before you go, Ricky, anything you want to talk about really quickly before you do head off?
Yeah. So I just wanted to talk about scalping for a second.
Fire away. The floor is yours.
So when Prismatic Evolution came out of Pokemon, you saw a whole bunch of people who had never dove into Pokemon before just buying up all the products because they knew it was hot, because they knew people wanted it, and just charging whatever for it. So Journey Together comes around, and you got the same people, same thing, except this is nowhere near Prismatic Evolution. So just like during that release period for Journey Together, it's just so funny scrolling through Facebook, seeing all these scalpers with their prices and all that stuff, just knowing that they're going to have to hold on to that or bag holds and just sell for basically what they got it for or whatever. So pick and choose your battles, I guess. Don't
Yeah.
don't just dive into scalp if you don't know what you're doing. Don't scalp at all, but if you're gonna do it, at least do it right.
It's it's bizarre to me to think that people think that they know what they're doing, but when it comes time to liquidate, their form of liquidation is just getting back what they paid plus a couple extra dollars. It's like, dude, it's the market is not that anymore. I think people are starting to learn, and I think there's a small turn that's being taken by the hobby. Is if you see it on Facebook or you see it on Instagram or wherever or eBay for that matter, people just aren't buying it. They're like holding their tongues and they're like, we're not going to buy it. And all the power to them. And because there's just so much going on. And I think this is a great topic to maybe talk about in 2 weeks' time is we see not Target, well, Target backdooring things, but GameStop, so much information evidence on them backdooring. They'll get a ton of stuff and their employees will buy everything but like one or two boxes. And that's all that they have available. And it's just where's it going? I mean, it's going to these scalpers. How are we seeing these videos and pictures of all these posts of hundreds and thousands of boxes? Where are you getting it from? Because you're just a schmuck. So, and even like shops aren't getting that much supply. So how are you getting it? It's absolutely insane. But hopefully, I mean, I've always said this: Journey Together is not a set that you can flip like Prismatic or even Surging was, Blooming Waters as well. Collectors like the set, and they're going to buy the set if the price makes sense, so they can open it and enjoy it. If it's going to be a $300 box, they're not going to touch it because they can't enjoy it for $300, but they can enjoy it for maybe $200. So before you run, I'll kind of carry on that topic when you leave. But do you want to hit your outgoing take real quick?
Um, we're still buying James Wood, and
Kid's a stud.
oh, he's so good.
The
I
announcers the announcer said it's like Juan Soto 2.0, and I'm like, no,
well,
that's James Wood 1.0.
right, yeah, 'cause he just has crazy plate discipline. He plays defense. He can run.
He's the leadoff
Um,
hitter. I'm like, whoa, I didn't see this coming. He's
he they showed a graphic yesterday. He has 13 home runs, and no, two of them are right fields, and he's a lefty. So once he learns how to pull the ball, the league is over. But
it's crazy how he's hitting the ball better to the opposite field, not just for base hits or doubles in the gap, but no, for pop and power,
right,
where you would think the power would go to right field and like the doubles would go to like left center and such.
right,
It's almost like backwards for him.
yeah, that kid's a beast. But yeah, that's still my outgoing take.
Well, I appreciate it. Sorry for the abridged episode. I will carry on and I will make sure we talk about good stuff. And then when we meet back up in a couple weeks, we're going to have something very exciting planned. But until then, Ricky,
All right, brother.
see ya. All right, there goes Ricky. He is heading off to work, I believe, because, like I said, we started a little late. I slept in, my fault. But to kind of pick up on the whole scalping situation, actually, before that, we have like 9 or so minutes before the shop opens. So I might have to kind of pause. I mean, you guys aren't going to know. It's going to be a smooth transition, but I might have to pause, come back, pause, come back. So this episode might be out a little later than normal. I try to get it out around 3 p.m. Eastern. So it might be out a little later because of all the pausing that I have to do coming and going from sitting down to record. However, neither here nor there, but an update I wanted to share nonetheless. The scalping thing is just horrible. It really, really is. I, I just feel like you didn't see any Pokemon scalpers back when COVID first happened, 2021. Sure, maybe when like a celebrations came out, but people weren't scalping Evolving Skies. People weren't scalping 151 when it first came out. And now it's great. Everything's getting scalped pretty much. And that's just not the nature of it. People were trying to scalp. These same people scalping Pokemon now are the same guys that were scalping sports cards back then. And they were just grabbing anything and everything they could just to go make a few bucks on it. Like, is it really worth it to buy like a $50 ETB here in Rhode Island, 7% sales tax. So it was at 53.50 to sell it for 55, $60. I mean, I guess if you do it 100 times, you're making $6. So hey, $600 right there. So I guess, but gas money, and then you have to sit on it, and then the credit card bills due. So it's just like takes time, and I just don't know if it's worth it for these people. But clearly they are, and they're trying. But like Ricky said, I mean, people are hanging on to it because the prices have come down drastically on it. People are learning, and good for them. They should be. So I'm happy that the community is not buying from scalpers. They should buy from trusted sources, whether it's a shop like my own, maybe it's a different shop or a friend. I don't know. Maybe they like the seller online or this online retailer, whoever it may be. Hopefully they're buying it from trusted sources, but scalpers, they're just not trusted sources, guys. We both know that, right? We both do. So I do want to pivot to buying off the secondary market. Murph, what does that mean? People do it all the time. Sure, they do. And I kind of want to stick with the whole Pokemon discussion. I promise we'll get to sports. I promise. I have a really good sports conversation coming up. But distributors, they're the ones rumored, reportedly buying off of the secondary market. Now, I don't have a lot of evidence behind this. Maybe it's true. Maybe. But there is a guy out there, not going to name names or anything, or maybe a couple people actually. I don't want to just kind of pinpoint one person. I think there's a couple people, kind of mentioning this. And I think this is why it's picking up steam because multiple people are mentioning it. And that's distributors are buying off the secondary market. Now, that may very well be true. However, I've noticed that when a second wave of a product comes out, or when the distributors are like, hey, we just got this back in, and it's like just the same amount as it would be like on a TCG player or maybe just a smidge below it. So to me, it makes me feel like that they're not. What I think a lot of these distributors are doing is they get their stock from the Pokemon company, then they distribute half of it, maybe a little less, and then they keep the other half for restocks and second wave releases, or look what we found, or look what we just got in. And then they're the ones that are charging over wholesale, over MSRP themselves. And it's just an absolute tragedy. Now, could we say that the distributors are scalping? Hey, I'm not in those meetings. I'm not working in those four walls. I have absolutely no idea. I'll peel back the curtain a lot. Prismatic Evolutions, any ETB that's a $50 MSRP price is about 30 to $35, depending on what company you get it from. Obviously, we know that prismatic ETBs were reselling for anywhere between like 120 to 150. Some places had it a little bit more. I think some places even had it a little less. I think just from one of my distributors, like a week or two ago, they offered prismatic ETBs for like 115. And I'm like, or maybe it was 120, I forget. And I'm like, this might be the last time I see. Every time I see that email, it's like, oh, it could be the last time I get it. So let me just get my max, which is usually like 2 or 3 boxes that they're offering me. And I'm like, let me just have it on the shelf for people who want it. Somebody who wants it will buy it, and we'll get it for them. So I'll get it. And then I go online and I look in TCG Player and it's like 135, 140. Let me see what it is, what's doing now. We're going to keep this thing going. Prismatic Evolutions ETB. Right now they're 135. So for me to think that they're buying it from a TCG player, now maybe they're buying it from other sources that's possibly cheaper, maybe eBay, maybe they're getting it backdoored from a GameStop. Who knows? But to me, to think that they're buying it off the secondary market, that's TCG player at least, which when you think of the secondary market, a lot of people in terms of Pokemon will immediately think TCG player. I just don't think that connects because if anything, they're gonna be losing a lot of money. For instance, they'd be losing $20 in that scenario. So are they going out to GameStops and Targets and wiping them all out to go sell it to stores like me and accounts like me? I just think that's a lot of work. Could it be possible? Maybe. I just think the more likely scenario is that they just kind of kept a reserve from their initial stock when Pokemon first delivered it. And that's kind of how they're just kind of slowly selling it. I mean, the max is only 2 to 3 boxes. I mean, I don't know how many boxes they get for a given release, but if they have 1,000 accounts, every account's only getting 2 boxes. Probably not every account's going to buy those 2 boxes. I would like to think that they have well over 2,000. They're getting well over 2,000 boxes from the Pokemon Company, I think. Because, I mean, a case has 10, so 200 cases, I mean, they're definitely getting well more than 200 cases. So that's kind of my opinion about that. I just don't think that they are, but they very well could be, guys. So I don't want to say no, no, no. I just want to let you know my thoughts and opinions about it. Okay, but now the sports conversation, guys. So recently, we found out that Travis Hunter is going to be a Panini exclusive athlete, similar to how Fanatics got Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Victor Wembanyama, yada, yada. The list goes on. And they just recently signed an exclusive deal with both Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders. Crazy, crazy. And this will absolutely shape shift the hobby. In my opinion, I think it'll absolutely shape shift the hobby because who's going to be the most exciting athlete to buy? Probably Travis Hunter, right? And I know with my conversations with Hector here on the channel as we cover the draft, I'm very cautious about Shadur Sanders. I don't know if he's a first round guy. He's definitely not an early guy, but there is steam and momentum where he becomes the second overall pick, the third overall pick, what have you. Maybe a team trades in to take him. Maybe a team trades back to strategically draft him. Doesn't matter. He's going to be a quarterback, probably the second quarterback taken, maybe even the first in some scenarios. And people are going to be crazy over that. People are going to love Travis Hunter because he's both a wide receiver and a corner, super generational talent, absolutely all the potential in the world. And Panini is going to have the rights to have their autographs in products. I don't know what products are going to be coming out. I guess they'll be coming out with 2025 stuff because the licensing that doesn't switch over till 2026. However, will this make both of theirs, Hunter and Sanders, their Bowman autos better? Because if we look at baseball, what do collectors like a lot? Rookie cards, obviously, but they're Bowman Chromes, they're Bowman First cards, whether it's autos, numbered, or just like their generic cards. They love those. So when you ask somebody, oh, what's that player's rookie card? Some people might say their Topps rookie card, or some people might say their Bowman Chrome First, whatever. And in this situation, they have Bowman Firsts. They have color, they have inserts, they have autos. But now their rookie cards are going to be with Panini, and their autos will be with Panini moving forward. So I think there's going to be a strong divide because we've seen a lot of Bowman athletes, whether it was the quarterbacks from before, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Will Levis for that matter. We've seen them go from Bowman football products and stay with Fanatics as exclusive athletes. So now your Topps Chrome and your unlicensed Topps products will have their their autos in it. However, the Panini products won't. So when we get Topps Chrome or Topps Football 2025, we're not going to get two of probably the most exciting or most hyped up prospects that the class has to offer. Sure, there's going to be Cam Ward. Sure, there's going to be Abdul Carter. But outside of, I mean, Ashton Genty is going to be a big one. But you have to put Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter in that mix, at least in terms of hype and popularity and excitement, regardless how you feel about, well, at least regardless how I feel about Shadur Sanders being an NFL quarterback. There's still going to be hype and excitement there because he's a quarterback and everybody likes their damn quarterbacks. So when I look at this, I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is going to shape the market because if you open unlicensed Topps football, you're not going to get two of the most exciting or hyped up or sought after players, especially for 2025. But Panini, yeah, when 2025 Prism football comes out, you're going to be able to pull Shadur and Travis Hunter cards. Now, when the license whole thing switch over, they're not going to be rookies anymore, but you're not going to be able to pull licensed licensed autos of these guys. Then Topps will have the license, but they're not going to be able to offer autographs. So it's going to be a strong, strong division between the hobby. And over the past couple years, since Topps has been making unlicensed products, people do not care. It is evident that they do not care that it is unlicensed Topps football. They just want Topps football. They don't care that it's unlicensed Topps basketball. They just want Topps basketball. But when it comes to Leaf, the whole licensing thing matters. Super crazy, super bizarre, but you know what? That's just the nature of the hobby these days. A lot of people, I should say, are hype beasts. They want what's in, what's new, what people are telling them to buy, it just blows my mind. I beat this horse to death about the whole don't care about the licensing thing. And it is clear that people don't care about the licensing thing when they're buying Drake May autos, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud autos, Victor Wembanyama autos that are from Topps unlicensed products. But if those same guys were in Leaf, they're staying a mile away from it. So again, just collect who you guys like. I'm not going to keep ranting on this, but it is going to be interesting to see moving forward the direction that the hobby will go in, because the two guys who, at least on April 10th, are two of the top five most exciting or top five most hyped up prospects in this draft class. They're not even going to have, they will have rookie licensed autos, and then it's going to switch to Topps, and then their cards aren't going to be licensed. So I'm curious to see what Panini will be making. I guess they'll be making unlicensed Prism and unlicensed Mosaic and Optic cards. But how are people going to feel about that? Because they're not rookies anymore, and they're not going to be licensed, right? So very interesting to see what that goes with. I mean, this year it won't be a problem. I don't know if Ashton Genty or if Cam Ward or Abdul Carter or Tat McMillan or really any of the other top prospects that Hector and I have been covering for a long time. I don't know if they're Panini or Fanatics athletes. I don't know yet, but we'll find out soon. We will find out soon. And again, this is why you shouldn't care about the whole licensing thing. Buy the players because you like them. Collect the players because you like them. Buy the cards because they look cool. I think those are the three mindsets people should have instead of worrying about, oh, is this going to be licensed? Oh, is that licensed? I think that conversation, that narrative is absolutely terrible. So let's move on. But actually, before we do, leave your comments down below. What do you guys think about that? The whole licensing thing, unlicensing thing. How do you feel about Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders going to Panini together as exclusive athletes? Now Panini will have Shedeur, Travis Hunter, and Arch Manning, along with, I don't know who else I have, to be honest, but that's a pretty good trio right there of guys, especially if they all pan out to be superstars at the next level. But I mean, I can't blame them for putting all their chips in this basket, because look at what Fanatics is doing. Again, Wemby, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May. I mean, the list goes on. Will Levis, right? uh, Brady, LeBron, to kind of venture into some older athletes. So it will be interesting to see the direction of the hobby going, especially within the next 16, 18 months or so, as we get rookie based products for these guys. And then we start phasing out of that and we go into 2026 when the whole licensing thing changes over. But let me know down in the comment section how you feel about this. If you care at all, let me know about the whole licensing thing. If you care at all, if not, why don't you buy unlicensed product? Why do you? I definitely would love to hear about it in the comment section below. But let's move on to our next topic, and this is one I'm very excited to talk about. Sorry, I had to actually go get it. And that is Card Town. Oh, let me get rid of this, the screen sharing first. There we go. And that is going to be Card Town Armor, guys. This is absolutely awesome. I think it's revolutionary because the durability, the strength, and the awesome colored designs that I have, right? It's got, you can see a photo booth behind me. Can you see some? You can see the boxes right there of Cardtown Armor. This is going to be launching very, very soon. I gotta tweak the website. I gotta update the website just a little bit more to add some more awesomeness. I need to add pictures, more pictures. But what this is I want to make sure I put this on right. Is I'm going to show you. So I already made a tutorial video about how to put on Cardtown Armor, how durable it is, kind of showcasing it, how to take it off. But for you guys, in case, when did that video come out, actually? Let me take a quick look. That comes out the 21st. So probably, I don't want to say anything, but maybe a little closer to the release date. Wow, that's 11 days. Well, from when the video comes out. So maybe 2 weeks or so, give or take. You guys didn't hear anything from me. I am not your inside sources. I am not your Schefter. However, it is April, and it'll come out soon after that video comes out on April 21st. Oh, anyways, so I'm gonna quickly go over it. I don't know if you can see because of the whole lighting. Maybe you can. So there's two grooves, 1, 2 on the bumper. The taller bumper, which is this one. Can you see the difference? Yeah. So you see how you can only see one side here, but whoa, whoa, whoa. You can only see one side here, but you can see two sides here. So this side is taller. So the taller side has to be the front facing side. It doesn't matter if it's this way or that way, this way or that way. It just matters that the taller edges is facing front. So you're going to take your card. I got a wonderful Metapod from Evolution, sorry, in a 10. Everyone loves their 10. Everyone loves their PSA, right? So boom, take the card. And it doesn't matter what corner you go into first. Sorry, I'm trying to like do it like looking at the camera and not at the card. Okay, hold on. Let me I got to pay attention while I'm doing this. So you basically just want to go around the edges, making sure that the card is, come on. Come on. Oh boy. Here we go. Hold on. Some technical difficulties here. Go from the back. There we go. Sorry, I had it from the wrong. Okay, so let me start over. So you have the card, got the bumper, boom, basically gonna go like that. Let's go from the back because it's smaller. The edges are smaller on the back than the front. I was trying to go from the front where they have taller edges. And then okay, so it's in, but it's not secure yet. So you're gonna see, you can probably see it from here. Focus, the glare is terrible. Focus. So you see how you can see a little bit of the edge, how it kind of pulls off a little so easy, even on the top. What we need to do, and I demonstrate this pretty well in the tutorial video, is you need to snap in all the edges. So I'm going to put it in front of the mic so you guys can hear it. See how that snaps in? Or hear how it snaps in? Hear that snap? So again, all I'm doing is just pushing down all the sides, all the corners, to make it a nice snug fit. And then all we have to do is just kind of look to make sure any spaces, any gaps. Front looks good. Any spaces, any gaps. Corners snug. Back looks good. So you now remember how we were able to peel it before? Now we can't. We can't peel it. It's not coming off. So there is a way to take it off, of course. But I just want to showcase the card as it is in its glory. Again, pardon the glare. Here's a beautiful Metapod. This is our green bumper. Our green armor, as I like to call it. Some people may know them as bumpers, but we're going to call them armors. Absolutely gorgeous. We have tons of other colors, guys. Look at all the colors. Just a sneak peek. Is that blue? Is that orange or red? What is that? That's red. There's purple. And then there's a bunch on the floor right there from all the pictures I was taking. Pardon the ugly printer. So we're working very hard to pump this out for collectors, for consumers, because I think protection is absolutely important for your collection. Kind of a lyrical miracle with that. Kind of just spit out a good bar. But yeah, one thing I do mention in the video, the tutorial video, is to not put a bag over the slab first, because it's going to make it extremely difficult to put it on. It probably won't fit. So if you do want a bag on it, which if you want to protect the surface, absolutely, I totally understand. Put the armor on, excuse me, and then put the bag over it. Now we do have, this is level 1, by the way. These are level 1 armors. There are level 2 armors coming out. Those are going to come out a little bit later. Those aren't going to be ready for the initial release of whenever in April, but they're going to be having glass on both the front and the back to absolutely protect the card. Just like, this is just a terrible way to show it, but this is the card. Glass, bzz, and it just absolutely protects it. So let me show you quickly how to take it off. So we're going to want to go the same way that we came in. We're going to want to go from the back. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to take it off, which is a good thing, because that means if I drop it 100 times, it shouldn't pop out 100 times. If I drop it, I'm not going to drop. Oh, I'll drop it here. Let's see. Let's test it. Oop. So yeah, it didn't pop out. Obviously, I'm dropping a foot, not even a foot. But I do want to kind of showcase that, you know, this is supposed to be on and stay on. So taking it off could be a challenge, but again, that is a good thing. Super simple. You just got to kind of dislodge it. It could be a little bit of a pain. I mean, I am actually really trying here to dislodge it. The corner could be very challenging. Okay. Go all the way around. Again, I'm trying to look at this and make sure it's in the shot for you guys. All right. And then all we need to do is just get one corner. Boom. Once we get one corner, we are free and clear. Boom. Now we got two separate. We got a card and we got a piece of armor. So that is Card Town Armor in a nutshell. Please make sure you watch the Card Town Armor tutorial that comes out on April 21st, which is, what day is that? That is a Monday. So not this coming Monday, but next Monday. and it will show you everything you need to know about Cardtown Armor in more depth than just the little segment that I just did here for like about 5 minutes. But yeah, any questions about that, guys, definitely comment down below. Definitely love to hear those and react to those, answer any questions of such. But I think that will wrap it up. A shorter episode than normal, but however, we did talk about a bunch of stuff: scalping, Pokemon distributors, grading report, Collecticon, Travis Hunter, Shadur Sanders, being Panini guys. So that will wrap it up for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for joining both Ricky and I for Hobby Talk. This was episode number 38, guys. What crazy. We're almost at 40. Soon we're going to be at almost 50. Next episode is going to be a little funky because it's going to be Ricky and I kind of doing our thing. And then we may have first time ever, a special guest to talk about something, a topic that we discussed last week or last episode, I should say, that I think is going to be very, very informational, educational, and something that the hobby needs to continue talking about. So I will leave it at that. But my outgoing take, real quick. What's my outgoing take, guys? Just collect what you like. I mean, beating a dead horse with that. I say that all the time. Collect what you like. How about this? For those looking for Pokemon products, whether it's sealed, specifically sealed, just be careful what you're buying, honestly, because the scalpers out there are trying so hard to make as much money as they can. They will screw anybody over. They don't care who you are. They will screw you over just to make money and to take your money. So again, kind of circle back to a point I made previously. Buy from a trusted source. Buy from someone you know and you can trust, whether that's a shop, whether that's an online retailer, whether that's from a friend. I don't care. But the Pokemon Center themselves, maybe, right? But they're cutting open the boxes too, and they're sending you unsealed boxes. Oh, blah blah blah, right? But oh, that joke's so funny. That joke's so funny. But yes, just buy from trusted people, guys. Please, please, please buy from trusted people. Don't spend an arm and a leg on a product because we are drastically seeing it going down because you can't flip it. You can, but it's becoming extremely challenging. And I think these scalpers are starting to realize that because they're not moving the product. They're buying it off of scalpers to try to scalp other people. They bought a ton of it at once and now they can't even move a single box. I think people are starting to learn and get smart in that regard. So that's my outgoing take. Even if it's Pokemon or sports or whatever, just buy from someone you trust. That's it. It could be sealed, it could be unsealed, it could be singles, slabs, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just buy from who you trust. But that will wrap it up for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please smash the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this episode. Comment down below anything you want to piggyback off of, comments, questions, thoughts, concerns. I'd love to read and reply to any and all comments. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new or haven't considered subscribing. I would greatly appreciate the love and support. Please consider joining the channel membership program so you can get awesome exclusive benefits, perks, and goodies that the public do not get, including seeing videos early, behind the scene content, and videos that the public don't get. I'm trying to put out some good videos just for channel members. So go check out the channel membership program. Just right next to Murph's Cardtown, it says join. Click on it. Nothing happens yet. You get to see the tiers and the benefits, and then you can choose from there if you wish. But yeah, that will wrap it up for this episode, guys. Thank you so much. I've queued up an excellent video right there for you that I do believe will be excellent for your hobby endeavors. Hopefully, I'll see you in that one.